you heard what Kate said, and you obviously know what people in social media have been saying. Does this put an end to it?
Um, well, I think it's certainly caused a reckoning online. I mean, you saw people on Twitter deleting their old tweets very quickly, sharing this Real Housewife clip where one of them is saying, "I was so wrong." And I think a lot of people are feeling sort of guilty for maybe participating in this campaign. That said, a lot of other people are criticizing the royal palace and saying, we understand the sensitivities and wanting to communicate with children, but wow, you guys handled this the worst way possible, right? Like, what was with that Photoshop picture? Why was she missing her ring? Of course, she's got the ring back on in the video. But I do think it's a lesson in PR for the palace they kind of threw her to the wolves with this. And I'm sure we're going to see conspiracies and those saying that, this is still a deep fake or who knows what. But I do think it's tamped down quite a bit. And people are expressing a lot of sympathy for her, especially as so many Americans have dealt with cancer themselves. I think that things had essentially reached such a fever pitch and things were getting so out of control that they just completely lost control of the narrative. And they really needed to play this kind of trump card of like, all right, here's what's going on. I also think that this news would have gotten out. She says she's going through treatment. I'm sure she'll have to go to a hospital. She would have been cited. And I think that at this point, they just had to release more information.
If you were advising them, how should they have handled this from the get-go?
In my opinion, I think they should have just been as direct as possible, as early as possible. Say, listen, Kate went in, they found some concerning things. She's facing a medical issue, which they did say, of course, that she has the planned abdominal surgery, but that doesn't really give people enough information. So I think they could have tried to tamp down on it a little bit. I think also just not releasing information. I think their little attempts at dripping things out, like the photo especially, was just a mess up. And even just having her walk out from, the cafe or wherever she was walking this past weekend, like these little things aren't going to work. You really need her face to camera addressing the public. And, I think they hopefully could have tried to do that a little sooner or had, a close friend of hers maybe speak on her behalf. But I think these little drips of information are just what feeds conspiracies.